Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85, back once more with another figure review, and today definitely a really good one here. This is the high-grade Gashapon Godzilla from 1974, the 1974 Godzilla, I should say. So otherwise known as the MechaGodzilla design. I have seen the larger Bandai figures of these are very expensive. Again, I've seen them for $70, for $100, even 120, 140 plus. So those are very pricey. But again, as I had stated in one of my previous videos, if you do get the Gashapon figures, they are a lot more reasonably priced, of course. And the 74 Godzilla Gashapon you can actually get for under $30. I've seen it online. I picked this up not too long ago, and again, it was very reasonably priced, and it's a really nice addition to the collection. So I haven't seen, once again, I haven't seen too many reviews done on this particular Godzilla. So I thought this would be kind of fun to just do a brief little review of this. I'll make sure this time I don't take too long. Again, and this is a Gashapon, so of course, as always, just to get out of the way, no articulation, of course, but again, with the mini and Gashapon figures, you're not going to get too much. However, the detail on this is, I really happen to love it. I'll bring it in a little bit closer so you can see him. Yeah, very nicely detailed. You can see the scales all over him. Really nice paint job. They got that kind of charcoalish color down pat on this Godzilla. And back to the spikes or spines, again, whichever you prefer. The middle row, which are the larger spikes, those are done quite well. I could say you can see how the one color paint kind of fades into the other, into this more silverish color, and the designs on the spikes are really nicely done. The outer rows are a little weird because they kept that kind of charcoalish, greenish charcoalish color that he's got on the rest of his body, and normally normally Godzilla, the spikes would still be kind of the same color as the middle ones, for the outside ones. So that's a little bit of a, I guess if you want to call it a nitpick on it, that would be one. But otherwise, and they are, very small, because I believe in the film these outside spikes were actually larger than this, so they are kind of small, and the coloring isn't the best. But like I said, that's about the only nitpick I really have with this figure. Otherwise, this is a really fantastic pickup. I'd figured I'd just go ahead and jump right into this, because like I said, I know some of my previous videos have been kind of running a little long, so I didn't want this one to take too long, but I really did want to review this figure. This version of Godzilla, the 74/75 Godzilla design, which is essentially that MechaGodzilla design. That's one of my favorites, probably my third favorite from the Showa era, behind the Shodai Godzilla, which is the original 54 Godzilla, and then and then second would be the Mosu Godzilla, the 64 Godzilla, the one from Mothra vs. Godzilla. But then this one, the MechaGodzilla from Godzilla, this is of course from Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla and Terror of MechaGodzilla. Like I said, this is essentially one of my favorites. It would be third behind those other two. As far as Godzilla designs go, and it's really awesome. And the funny thing is, it's roughly the same as the Megara. I always forget. I think it's called the Megara Godzilla, the one from Godzilla vs. Megalon, which was the movie right before Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla. And it's the same suit. But the head was altered though. Because in that other head, his eyes are like really like wide puppy dog-ish, and and he just didn't have, he just looked way too nice and friendly. And I know Godzilla was a good guy, but he should still have that kind of tough look, which they definitely changed. And it was just because they made some slight alterations in the face, and it totally changed up the figure, which was something that I touched on. Not the figure, but the design, I should say, of the suit. And that was something that I touched on when I was ranking all the Godzilla films. But they altered the eyebrows. They made him more tilted like that to give him that sort of rougher, meaner look. And I know his mouth's not open here, but the teeth were altered as well, and certainly made sharper and whatnot. And like I said, it just overall gave him a much meaner look, much tougher look, and it was a million times better than the design from Megalon. And it's just funny, by tweaking some things like that, how it totally changed it up, and that's why it's definitely one of my favorites from the show era, and of course overall as well. But this was one that I definitely was really, really happy. I didn't think I was going to be able to find it because I hadn't really seen any of these online. Not the Gashapon ones, only, like I said, the more expensive standard, 6-inch figures from the Bandai, from the standard Bandai line, I should say. Which again were way too expensive. So I was just really, really happy to get this one Gashapon. Like I said, I've become a huge, huge fan of these Gashapon figures. And it was certainly. Certainly once I really wanted to build up my collection more, been buying a lot of these Gashapon figures, but they really look great for displays. So I have seen others being advertised online, but when I was originally looking, all of them that I was seeing, or most of them anyway, were really just shown as the fake Godzilla, where where it's obviously MechaGodzilla disguised, which of course was from the film before he was revealed as MechaGodzilla when Godzilla blew that synthetic skin apart, and the aliens had to remove it completely to reveal MechaGodzilla underneath. So, but from that though, they you knew that it was the fake Godzilla because of that missing skin piece on the arm, with the MechaGodzilla armor revealed underneath, which happened, of course, from fake Godzilla's battle with Anguirus. So I that was cool, but I really just wanted to have Godzilla himself, not the fake Godzilla. But then I kind of found out later on that actually the completed Gashapon figure comes to where you can actually alter it between having it as the 74 Godzilla or fake Godzilla. And I mean that because it actually does come with the separate arm piece. That's why I kind of shifted him this way, because it comes with the separate arm piece that has that fake Godzilla arm underneath. And then I'm actually I've got it here with me, as you can see, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on, briefly. I'm gonna switch it back, but I'll put it on just so you can see it as the fake Godzilla. So let's go ahead and switch it out now. Oh, you broke my little arm! You broke my little arm! No, I didn't, Goji. You know I didn't. You're just messing with people here. Alright. And as you can see, and that's a nice thing of these Gashapon figures, they're really easy to switch out. That was one thing, because the one X Plus figure that I have the Gamera 7-inch one, and oh my goodness, that was a nightmare putting that thing together with trying to soften up the vinyl. I didn't have a blow dryer, and I kept trying to use hot water, but it just took me all day, and my hands were were basically blistered up and everything by the time I finally got all the pieces together. But I certainly did that Clubber Lang cheer, when he beats Rocky in Rocky 3, once I finally did get it assembled. But anyway, back to this. So once again, you can see the arm, like I said here, so you can actually display him as Fake Godzilla if you want to, or as I prefer to have him displayed as just the 74 Godzilla himself. So, but it's still really, really cool. It's a nice little accessory, and I definitely like that. So for display purposes, I will, make sure to keep the fake arm with this figure as well, just to kind of showcase it like that. So I'm gonna put the regular old arm back on here. Yeah. Yeah, looking all cool now. Move him back a little bit so you can get a better view. And just for some fun, we'll go ahead and just bust out some of my other Gashapon figures that I've got that were, of course, in the movie. Of course, you had Anguirus, who fought the Fake Godzilla. I was debating on whether or not to bring him out, but I figured, you know what, if I want to include the kaiju that actually were in the film, yeah, it makes sense. So, and then along with them, you've got King Caesar here. And by the way, these are really, really nicely detailed. They're obviously the HG Gashapon figures. They're really, really cool. This one I've had in my collection for a long time. Anguirus was one of the ones that I got more recently, but was really happy to have. I wanna try to get the 1955 Anguirus, the Gashapon figure. So hopefully, eventually, I'll get that in my set. Let me arrange him here, and then of course, I don't think I was going to leave him out. MechaGodzilla himself, and again, really nice. Again, got this one in the more recently as well, but it's nice. And this is the 74 MechaGodzilla, and obviously you can tell, the design alterations between the 74 and 75 MechaGodzilla are a little bit different. They're pretty much the same, but you can see this is the 74 design, and plus two, what always gives it away is the insignia on MechaGodzilla's arms, which this one says MG. For the 75 MechaGodzilla from Terror of MechaGodzilla, it says MG2. So that's kind of a cool little factoid to know. So anyways, got them all out here displayed. And again, this is certainly a nice set piece. And again, if any of you are looking to try and add the 1974 version of Godzilla to your collection, but you don't want to spend the big bucks on the larger Bandai figure, like obviously I did not want to do, these are available online, especially on eBay. You should be able to at least find a few of these guys out here, the Gashapon 1974 Godzilla. Excuse me, sorry. So anyway, though, certainly a fantastic pickup. So once again, if you guys are interested, and that should be about it. I guess it took a little bit longer than I wanted, but not terrible. Nonetheless, though, folks, I do thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.